Well, I'm in the hall where Liz Truss has just finished her conference speech. She walked on to end people's moving on up. Slightly unfortunate lyrics. You've done me wrong, your time is up, pack your bags. And she was interrupted by two Greenpeace protesters. So it didn't go entirely to plan. But she promised a new Britain for a new era after 12 years of Tory rule. She defended her tax cuts and she said, I get it and I have listened over the U-turn on the 45p rate. She said she took aim at sort of the left and the sort of bêtoise of the Tory membership. So she said, I will not allow the anti-growth coalition to hold us back. And she said the real heroes are not the people who stick themselves to trains, but the people who get them to go to work. She promised an iron grip on the nation's finances. That's after promising 70 billion of borrowing next year alone. And she said that the new Home Secretary will be bringing forward laws to make sure that no European judge can overrule us.
We're the only party with a clear plan to get Britain moving. We're the only party with the determination to deliver. Together, we can unleash the full potential of our great country. That is how we will build a new Britain for a new era.
I'm now out of the conference hall and we've had a briefing with the Prime Minister's spokesman about that speech that you've just heard. And the main thing that came up was kind of cabinet discipline. He kind of reinforced that collective responsibility is important after all these ministers spent days at each other's throats, and sort of hinted that there could be a little bit of a crackdown when they get to Westminster next week. We also talked about the use of that Moving On Up song. As I said before, not only are the lyrics pretty damning, but the son of the singer is a Labour councillor who said it was apt. And the person who wrote the song said it was annoying that he couldn't prevent it being used by the Tories because he doesn't want it used as a soundtrack to lies. When we asked Number 10's press secretary about this, his reply was, I don't know who that guy is. There were also some questions about the Prime Minister's schooling. Was she really the first Prime Minister to go to a comprehensive, as she claimed? Prime Minister's press secretary said it's quite complicated and involves the meaning of comps changing in the 60s, and he's not going to get into a pop quiz about it, which makes things crystal clear. But perhaps one of the things we focused on the most was this attack, this central message going against the anti-growth coalition, as she called it, which seemed to encompass everyone from sort of left-wing protesters about the environment to think tanks who question her plans. And asked if this was kind of smearing anyone who calls into question what she's trying to do, the spokesman was suddenly not very specific. He said he wasn't talking about individuals, individual think tanks, he wasn't naming names, and we should just stick to the words in the PM's speech. So overall, this was a sort of message about the sort of style of politics she wanted to do, but we're lacking quite a lot of detail. We haven't got a lot of policy. That is promised for later in the year, and we're just going to have to wait to see how a Liz Truss government develops, if, of course, her MPs don't try and get rid of her.